School is busy. No matter what, you still got to make time for the stream because this is where you come to relax. This is the nightly routine. I am doing great. How are you? How are you? How was studying? How was your test? That's a pretty big question that I would have to ask. Exactly, Maria. Even if you don't have all that much time, at least you make some amount of time, you know? So, that's good. That's at least a good thing. Whoops. I don't want to throw it into myself, do I? Okay, so your exam is next Tuesday. Gotcha. So you're just doing nothing but studying right now. Basically, you were just studying away, studying, until the test, which is in like a week. So fair enough. I'll take it. Thanks for the follow, Malcolm. Welcome to the community officially. So yeah. Maria, I don't think I asked you what book you're reading lately, have I? Now, I know you're busy with studying, but at the same time, you've got to be reading something, even if it's just passively, like whenever you sort of can. You know what I mean? Yeah, studying and working. Trust me, I know what it's like to have literally no time at all. That's for sure. But yeah. Raven, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the community officially. Thank goodness the moderate humidity is returning. So I'm not living in static electricity land every single day where it's just like I just hate my hair every single day. You know, like long hair is far easier than most other than like a shaved head hairstyle. But when there is just a complete lack of humidity and there's no water molecules in the air and your hair is nothing but frizz, it just makes it lay flat. It makes it not able to do like anything you want it to do. So it's great. Things are warming up and the humidity is returning ever so slightly, which I love. And you're very welcome, Raven. Thank you. Maria says, I read to relax or before bed, even when I take the bus. Yeah, good. That's very good. So did you tell me what you're reading lately? Because I don't recall. I don't think you did. Did you? You asked me, but... Superfan Rivers is in the house. Let's get it. Thank you for liking the live, Raven. Thank you, user. I appreciate that. Glad you think so. Thank you for sharing the live, Rivers. Really appreciate that. Sage, look at that. We got a little Sage action up in here tonight. Thank you for the proper address, and hello. You're reading 2 books. The first, Game of Thrones, and one of philosophy of theater. Both sound really cool. Both sound really cool. How are you, Sage? Now, I do actually... Oh, we got some Othello action. Good, good, good. So, I was actually... I guess you did tell me, because I said, yeah, I said last night that I was going to read that soon. The allergies are such a fun time, really. It's that time of the year. It's one of two, like, huge times of the year for that. I'm sorry to hear it. But I'm glad you took a nap, Othello. I would have loved a nap today. Because, of course, since I was streaming last night, I basically just got no sleep. And, you know, some sleep is better than no sleep, so I shouldn't say no sleep, but as usual. So I am jealous. Jealous of the nap, that's for sure. What party? Why? Why party? Yeah. Dune's another one for sure. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's okay, Othello. Yeah, you sound like me. That's something I would love to do. Although I haven't fallen asleep while working, but I would love to if I could. That's a good one, Sage. That's a good one. I read that one last year. Good one, good one. Yeah, well, that's the biggest thing, Maria, is getting time, having time to even read them. That's a huge issue. There's never enough time in the day. Never enough. Long weekend. I don't understand. I don't understand what the celebration is for the long weekend. I mean, but that's cool. I mean, lucky you. And I didn't even know you were getting a long weekend. Yeah, well, the allergies, Sage. No, Maria, I've heard of it, but I haven't read it. Of course, I've heard of it because it is Mr. Tolkien, but a reread of The Hobbit's a good move, I would say. Mine is the usual, as of late, water and seltzer water, so literally just water and lime. Pretty chill stuff. I do have a vast array of tea. It's just I find myself cramped for time to finish it all because I usually make like a full liter of tea. So it's tough to always finish it, and then I end up wasting. But seltzer water and lime is really good too, I think. And there's a somewhat of a little bit of a nutrient kick because I don't use like Yeah, that's what I said. I said it's seltzer water. So it's basically just water, but it's because it's not like the type of water that has like sugar in it too. It's unflavored water. So completely just water with carbonation. And then I add real lime juice to it. So that's kind of what I do with that. Yeah, just celebrating in general. You've got a long weekend, so might as well like have a good nice time celebrating the long weekend. I get it, and then also kind of you've been working hard. I don't know what TV static tastes like, but I'm also not just drinking carbonated water straight up, as I said. It's lime, so it kind of tastes like a Sprite or something like that, but just like the healthy version. What's up, Dream? Thank you for letting people know, Maria. I'm glad you think that sounds lovely, Othello. Oh, so you have Good Friday off from work. Interesting. Okay. No, I have never made a decoction of pine needles before. Although I feel like nature's Sprite would actually be lime and lemon, just real, not fake lime and lemon flavor, you know what I mean? In water. Now it could be carbonated water, but that isn't found in nature, so I would have to say cold water with like natural lime and lemon. But I know what you mean. It's just a name. It's not like you named it. But it's an interesting name when I feel like there may be better candidates for it. Dream has seen the video though, so you're not alone. People have seen it, so that's good. That's good. Yeah. Well, where I live is full of pine needles, all over the place. I wouldn't have to go far. I could just walk 2 steps out my door, grab a handful at any time. Rife with pine trees. They are ubiquitous. Look at it, Rat. Just look at it. Would you just look at it? Would you just look at my mug? It is literally the best mug you've ever seen. But can you just look at it, though, please? Thank you. Thanks, Sage. I know you've seen it a billion times, for those of you that are here all the time, but for those of you who haven't seen it, you need to look at it. You just need to look at it, and then look at it again. Super quick. Just a cursory glance is all I ask, really. You know, that's really all I ask. I don't ask for much, but a cursory glance in the direction of the drinking apparatus. Por favor. You have a photographic memory of a dozen of my mugs. You remember many of my mugs like that? That's incredible. How do you do it? That is quite impressive. How do you do it? That's actually the voice that I gave Lucy in our reading podcast. I just put on Lucy's voice. 2020 vision. There we go. I would hope so. The retired Morton Salt Factory is over here in Chicago. That's sick. Although I wish they wouldn't have retired it. I wish they wouldn't have retired it. I want that Morton's factory up and running in business. I need it, in fact. I require it. But music's cool too, and they're repurposing it. So, although it is defunct in a sodium chloride capacity, it is not entirely defunct anymore. I've got multiple runes, Dream. Good question. Yeah, multiple runes. It's one on my face, too. Although I do hope that at least some vestiges of Morton's remains within the confines of the edifice. But if not, that's cool too. But I'm just hoping. I don't usually read books in Spanish. It would be great practice, you know. It would be great practice. And it's not a bad idea. But usually I don't. It's usually always in English. But great question. Great question. That's only been asked a couple of times ever, so. That's cool, Drain. That's cool. Yeah, the former Sage. The former. That's a cool aspiration, though, Dream. Thank you, Sage. Also. The Salt Shed. That's a beautiful name for it, of course. So even... that is an aptronym. That is aptly named, for sure. I love that. So indeed, even the name of the building is vestigial in that way. So that's cool. Is it a big place? Is it a large building? Or I'm sure it has to be. I mean, it's a factory. I've got to look into that. I've got to look at some photos. Yeah, I can imagine. It's a huge place. Thanks for the follow, Coffee. Welcome to the community. Yo, Luna, one of our community members, had some great news for us, and it's the reason last night she gave us the news. It's why she isn't here tonight, and that being that she has friends over her new apartment for the first time, and she was nervous about it. She was a little excited and nervous at the same time, but hopefully, I'm hoping, if you're watching the stream archive that always gets uploaded to YouTube on the Jackson Downer TV YouTube channel, I hope that it's going well, Luna. Yeah. Mishi, unfortunately, you're kind of beginning with a false premise. Because your assumption as to the imagery of the carbon element within the dermis of my integument is not what you have claimed it to be. So I don't really know how to answer it because you're starting off on a false premise, unfortunately. Maria has a favorite writer of fantasy. For me? For me? Okay, let's read into this. Her name is Liliana Bodock and writes an excellent fantasy. That's incredible. I will have to check her out. Thank you for the recommendation, Maria. I'm excited for her too, Othello. I take it that you didn't understand what I said, Mishi, if you're acting like what I said was extremely deep in nature, or that I acted like you hit me with a logical syllogism or some sort of situation like that, because that's not what I said. I said that you're operating off of a false premise as to the imagery within the carbon-based ink in my integument. It is not what you think it is to begin with. You're asking what the meaning of a piece of imagery on me is when the imagery that you're asking about is not the imagery that you are claiming it to be. So the better question would have been to ask what the imagery is. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm getting at. I'm not saying that you're hitting me with a logical proposition of any kind or anything like that. Jenny, what's going on? That's exactly what I was saying, Victoria. Just that would probably be the better question to ask, basically. That's kind of what I just got done saying there. You put it in Discord, like just the author's name, or the specific book, maybe? I don't know. Well, I guess I could just look. Yeah. Well, because you asked me what it meant. You said, what does the teardrop on your face mean? I can't answer that question properly because it's not that. That's all I'm saying. In a nice way, by the way. Like, in no way am I being rude to you. This doesn't have to be a massive thing. Really. Okay. I see your message in Discord, Maria. Thank you, Sage. I appreciate that. I'm glad that you appreciate it. I also appreciate you too, Victoria. Okay. Okay. I've cleared out the chat here. Whew. Hey, Mishi, I'm not for everybody, that's for sure. I appreciate you for stopping in and incorrectly assuming what the imagery on my face is. That's totally fine by me. Have a good day, or whatever, good night, or whatever. Yeah, Victoria, it's not a problem. Like every single other person ever automatically assumes a thing or another, or makes snap judgments and things like that. And you are correct that there are definitely negative implications tied to the teardrop symbolism and such. But yeah, if you simply, here's a real simple exercise. Tap on my name down or tap on my name in the upper left hand corner right up here, something like that. Go to my profile. You'll see real close up videos that I've taken. If you really want to know the super deep meaning, because again, I don't go like super deep into the meanings of all my tattoos here on stream, unless we hit like a sub goal and it's like a big deal. I'll do like a whole tattoo tour thing. But I've already made YouTube videos that go in depth, like real in depth on all my tattoos and stuff like that. So, and I absolutely appreciate you too, Sage. I'm glad you watched the video. Yeah, you correctly. And what's funny too, Sage, is you were just literally asking me about what it was, in the sense that you already knew what it was. You just wanted to know what the rune's name was, and you got it. That would be pretty sick, God King. That would be pretty sick. Thanks for sharing the live, Silver. I appreciate you too, Victoria. I think you are new here as well. It's good to have you. Jenny, I didn't really catch it. I didn't catch the riddle. Thank you for liking the live, Victoria. A tattoo tour, yeah, dream. So on my YouTube, I have a full breakdown of all the imagery within my sleeve, hand, fingers, and then I have a separate one for this. So you can always check those out if you can't wait. But I'm pretty sure we're fairly close to our super fan goal here on TikTok anyway. So as soon as we hit that, we'll go through and all of our streams get uploaded to YouTube, to the Stream Archive channel after we're done. So if you missed the stream, you can just go watch it after the fact. So yeah. Thank you, Maria. Yeah, I actually went, just a minute ago, I went and looked at the Discord and saw your message. So I appreciate that. Oh, yeah. Jenny, you said, what did you say? You said that you started learning psychology, right? That was like the message. And I'm failing to connect that to a riddle. I don't know where the riddle is in that statement. It's not even a question. Well, riddles can be statements like, I am green and blah, blah, blah. But then it usually ends in, what am I? Or something like that. It usually does have some sort of questioning aspect to it. But thank you, Ren. I really appreciate that. I'm glad you think so. And thank you so much, Joe. I also appreciate you, and I'm glad that you think so. Thank you for the rose dream. Good night, Jenny. Joe, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the community. Yes, Sage, I think that tattoo preferences are the epitome of subjectivity, you know? So it's going to be whatever hits you the hardest, whatever resonates with you the most. And those sound cool to me. Yeah. I know you've been dealing with stuff, and so, you know, and there's something to be said for tattoos that they don't necessarily apply to you and your mental state, like right now. Let's say you might be going through something mentally, physically, and you might get a tattoo in that period of your life where You want something that symbolizes strength and, I don't know, moving on or overcoming obstacles, things like this. However, once you've overcome the obstacle, let's say, that tattoo is still a reminder of that time period, you know? And there's a lot of beautiful symbolism tied to it and the memories surrounding it. You know, so things like that are cool too. That's cool, Maria. That's also pretty special, you know, doing it yourself, of course. I think that's a pretty cool move. As long as you're safe, which you are. You know proper disinfection techniques and sanitization techniques. So, you of all people, Maria, I would trust to not give yourself a necrotizing fasciitis or some other infectious disease of some sort. Technique! Exactly. Exactly. Thanks, Dream. I try my best to put things in a fairly apt way for you. Best I can. Exactly, Maria. This is what I'm saying. This is the exact reason why I said it. Speaking of April Fools and such, since it was April Fool's Day today, did any of you get hit with some April Fools situations? Because it's time to share with the class. It's time to share with the class. Did you get hit with any April Fool pranks, April Fool jokes? Othello, no, we were just talking in Discord about this. That's not okay. I am so sorry. Oh, the brother. What did he do? Did he say your parents died or something awful? That would be terrible. What happened? Your manager tried. So it did happen. I mean, it technically did happen. It just didn't work on Smart Rivers. There you go, Dream. Broken TV screen. That's a good one. I like that. I like that. Did it work? Did anybody get freaked out by it? Okay, Maria. Well, since we're late to the class for you, you'll have to let us know what happened for you on December 28th. That was only a few months ago. It's because it's a real good camera. Just look at it. Even worse than your parents dying. Okay, first off, Rivers, what happened? How did your manager try, and what's the situation? Othello, what was said? What happened? Sage, that's funny. That is definitely funny, and yes, your comment did go through. It's funny that these things get us. Like, we actually get fooled by this stuff, even though it's like, we all know April Fool's is the day for this to happen, but it's so easy to like forget that it's April Fool's. I didn't even remember that it was April Fool's today until Othella said it this morning, and I was late to the party. She said it like at 11 a.m. my time and in the Discord, and I literally had no clue until she said it. But then I did have a clue because somebody mentioned it last night, and like when it turned midnight, somebody was like, "Happy April Fools," or whatever. Happy April 1st, Happy April Fools, blah, blah, blah. But then I forgot. And it's just that easy to forget. So that's how we're able to get hit with it all the time by people. He told me he got hit by a car and then I had to go get him. Wow, he let you travel an hour. That's terrible. That's terrible. That's actually terrible. That he let it, like, go. That he actually let it go. That's crazy that it went that far. Terrible. Terrible. But I am glad that he's okay, obviously. Hey, Alexa. What's going on, Even? Welcome to the stream. And I'm not exactly sure what you mean. Because all I have is a bookshelf behind me and my guitars. So I don't think it looks like I'm in the back rooms. But, funny enough, actually, guys, I just finished editing the video of me playing through the back rooms. I played through all the full back rooms on our Twitch stream, and this was a few months ago, but I finally got that video edited, and it'll probably be up next week. So if you do want to see me in the back rooms, well, that video will be up on the gaming channel on YouTube next week. That does happen sometimes, Joe. That does happen sometimes. Yeah, but I don't recall a green color in the wall being super prominent in the back rooms. Like, not even the first level is this color or anything. But hey. And I'm telling you, I just had to rewatch and edit an entire video of me playing through the whole of the back rooms. Yeah, exactly. You forget, Maria. You forget. And then when you forget, it's really easy to get fooled by it, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Othello, you should set like a calendar event for all day that says April Fool's Day today. Like, set an alarm that sounds and just make sure that you know that April Fool's is on April Fool's and you do not get tricked like this again. Because he will come for you again next year. That's terrible. I'm sorry you keep sneezing though, Sage. Yeah, the allergies are no fun. No fun at all. It's good to hear, though. It's good to hear about your April Fool's adventures, anyway. Nobody got me, Dream. Nobody. Not a single person. And no one tried. No one tried to get me. So that's that. And I didn't try to get anyone either because I I explained it on the Discord. I just don't really like freaking anybody out or making anybody like scared or nervous or whatever can come of April Fool's jokes. And, April Fool's jokes are more like April Fool's pranks. And those are usually meant for, a temporary amount of time to scare somebody or freak somebody out or make them sad or upset or angry or whatever it might be. And yeah, so I just I can't bring myself to do it because I fully understand that I would not like that. I wouldn't like it. And so I don't want to do it to somebody else, basically. But yeah. I mean, there's plenty of people actually... Plenty of people do things that aren't super, like, crazy, hardcore, terrible, like Othello's brother or something. Superfan Jess, welcome back. Superfan Rivers, there you are. Yeah, and that's good. That's good, Dream. I think that's really, really good. Because, yeah, you legitimately just... You fully understood that, basically, the only adverse effect that you were going to have by doing what you did was people in the house worrying that you were going to be upset. And even then, it wasn't like probably wasn't the craziest worry because they weren't thinking that they did it. They were just like, oh God, she's going to be upset or, whatever. So that's pretty lighthearted, And yeah, exactly, Rivers, exactly. And thanks, Amira. Yeah. You guys know. For those of you that know me, at this point, I am an extremely, extremely empathetic person. I operate really, really strongly off of just that one rule of treat all others the way that you would want to be treated. Basically, there's a better way to say that, but that's the phraseology that most people really understand, and where I would kind of just be like upset, like I'd just be angry for no reason if somebody like upset me and told me like my parents were dying or like something awful, or like Othello's brother, literally I got hit by a car, your sibling, hey, I'm your sibling, come get me, I'm dying, like I would just be so upset. And I just could not, impute that level of frustration, sadness, anger, whatever it might be, onto another. It's just too much for me. Because then I'd be opening myself up to claims of hypocrisy when somebody else does it to me, Somebody else does it to me, and they're like, well, you did it to me. You do it to everyone else. I don't want to be a hypocrite. In any, really in many aspects of my life. In as many aspects of my life that matter, I try so hard not to be a hypocrite. So... Yeah, and that's really bad, Othello. Yeah. I mean... Everybody has trust issues to some degree. Well, not everybody. But if you don't have a little bit of trust aversion, then you've lived probably a fairly sheltered life, to be honest. I think that that's a pretty fair proposition to propound. But Sage feels it. There we go. Good. River's sister, Jessica, is a queen of pranks. Is she younger or older? Remind me, Rivers. Plot twist. Superfan Jessica is actually Superfan Rivers' sister. Just kidding. That would be so funny, though. That would be so funny. But no, obviously she is not. But thank you so much, Jessica. I really do appreciate that. And of course, that is okay to say. It means the world to me. I'm glad you think so. Yeah. Oh, Maria had mentioned, speaking of, Maria had said that I looked like a a man of Rohan, or Rohan, depending on your pronunciation. And yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, it's really, for me, it's the Elven bun. And that I was just feeling it tonight. I don't do it too often, but tonight I was kind of feeling it because it was getting a little annoying up top. So yeah. But a lot of the riders of Rohan also have a similar hairstyle. So there's Jamie. Let's go. We get some Jamie action up in here too. Othello was thinking about that plot twist as well. Love it. Thank you so much for the 3 legend crowns and the heart me, Jess. You are amazing, and I appreciate you to no end. Thank you, thank you. I needed my crown. I needed a little hearty dose of crown. How are you, Jamie? You missed show and tell because in show and tell I had asked the class to tell me about their April Fool's Day experiences. Did you April Fools anybody, or did anyone April Fools you? Or no? Because that would be a fair answer too, but figured I'd ask. Since we all just went through it literally a minute ago. So your sister's the Queen of Pranks, River. So that means, okay, so did she prank you then? I guess not. You didn't have a story for us. But, oh man, I'm sorry that today's been rough. And I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad. I would say that is lucky that there was no April Fool's done to you today. That's good. That's a very good thing. I'm glad to hear it. You made it through unscathed. I'm happy for you. Because, yeah, me too, actually. I also did not have any April Fools happen to me either. And yeah, like, it's not something that you would, after a tough day like that, you'd really want to go through. So that's fair as well. That's fair as well. Octavia's back. What's going on? Yeah, Sage, like the one you got, it also wasn't like someone that was like extremely personal to you in your life either. It wasn't like a terrible one where it was like, you know, someone you know is in trouble or like just something really bad that personally affects you. It was just like, you know, well, Tyler Oakley. And it was a lighthearted one, so I can get down with that. Love those emojis. Octavia, let's go. Or stickers, technically. Love those. It's been a minute since I've seen the Jackson stickers up in here. Yeah, exactly, Sage. That is what he said. That's a hard one to do. They're all hard to do because I have literally no space in front of me. Like the space that I have here stops. It stops right here. So I have no space. Yeah, it was kind of like, ha ha, funny. Precisely. Precisely. Jamie, thank you for the heart me. And Octavia, thank you for the heart me as well. Jamie is happy that there's a live tonight. I'm glad that you're happy. I'm happy too. of course. But I'm happy that you're happy. Because yeah, I mean, this is where if you're having a good day or you're having a bad day, you can come and reset and have an even better day or improve your day. Multi-purpose. Charlotte, good morning to you. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I get it. I get it, Rivers. It's one of those nights. And for me too, I'm pretty darn tired too. We ended the stream pretty late last night, and naturally I still had like a few things to do before I went to sleep. So yeah, it was like 3:30 before I was able to get to sleep. Please do, Sage. Manifest the allergies straight out of your life. That's exactly what you need to do. Please do. What's your goal, Othello? Number one, thank you for always being a part of the Numb Fingers crew. Othello, you always kill it with the likes on the live, so thank you so much for that. You are here. You are here. It's very true, Rivers. We've missed you too, Sage. Things are a lot better when we're able to have more of the community here. It's always better. It's always better. We know it. I know it. You know it. We know it. Cleaning. We love that. And it's already so late, Jamie. It's hard. Congrats to you, Charlotte. That's awesome. That's amazing. Absolutely impressive, incredible, and much, much love to you. Much love and support to you, because it's a battle, you know. It's always a battle. It's never easy. It's a day-by-day thing. 20K minimum. All right, Othello, I'm holding you to it. Hopefully we can hit it soon-ish. Soon-ish, anyway. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Charlotte. Hey, Gabby, what's going on? I'm doing well. How are you? Sage, congratulations to you as well in October. And belated, because I didn't get to tell you in October. I'm glad you're doing fine, Gabby. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's okay, Jamie, you know, life happens. It happens. And you've had, you know, a crazy amount of things happen since you've even joined the community, which was a while ago now. But, you know, there's still things to deal with. And life does come up for each and every one of us, you know. So I get it. I get it. Yeah, Holly, sounds good. Sounds good to me. Amira, well, it's hard to explain the particulars, but in general, a good way to explain it is this is why I have to start the stream so late every day. You know, like the stream starts at like midnight because I still have to have time to do everything in my day that is necessary for me, which includes reading and working out and things like that. And that's just some of the things, you know. Jen, thank you for the heart me, and Jamie, thank you for the rose times 4. Yeah, Shelby. Yeah. That's another one I get quite a bit. That's another comparison that you are definitely not the first one to make that comparison, for sure. No, Gabby, I never have. I never have. Have you? Have you ever done a little LARP sesh? Or maybe a large LARP sesh? I don't know. Maybe you've done that. I don't know. I hope so too, Sage. I mean, you've been able to be here on the stream for most of the time, so, like, I would say that you can fall asleep peacefully. I can fall asleep peacefully because I was able to spend my night with you guys, and we're not even done yet, but I already know that this will be the conclusion of my night. Where do I like to read? I like to read on my bed, not in my bed, but probably my favorite spot to read would be on my bed. But again, not in my bed, just relaxing on my bed sort of situation. Linsky, LARPing is, that's a good question. LARPing is like pretending. It's like playing pretend, but for real. You know, like you pretend to, like a lot of people LARP in like a fantasy world where there's mages and knights and things like that. And you fight with swords and you can cast spells, but you do it with like rules. It's like a game and there's rules and things and you actually act it out and dress up and like everything. So that is my understanding of LARPing anyway. Jamie says, I mean this with all the respect. You were the most gorgeous elven man I've met. Like someone cast me. Well, thank you. Thank you, Jamie. And yeah, no, like, even without the first part of that sentence or statement, I take it with all the respect. Automatically. I already take it with all the respect, and I appreciate it. I'm glad you think so. I really do, and it means the world to me, so thank you. And yeah, Sage, I'm really glad that I do. I really am. Chain Works, welcome back, and thank you for the heart, me. Marina, thank you. I appreciate you very much, and I'm glad you think so. Although I do not have great skin. My skin is not that great. It's not the worst in the world, but it's also not great. You know, I work hard to get my skin where it is. Very hard. Not very hard, but I have a routine and I stick to it, and it's a very well-researched routine. I try to take care of myself within and without. Cody, that is a cool comparison to make. And Black Sails is actually a show that I've always wanted to watch, but I never have. And I do really want to, though. I still want to. Indeed, Lola, Lounge Like a Lion, exactly. Yeah, Chainworks, it's been a while. Good to see you, though. I did not forget you. Even though it's been a while, I didn't forget you, which is amazing to me. That the second I saw your name, I was like, there's Chainworks. Yeah, you're welcome, Linsky. Thank you for the follow, Linsky. Welcome to the community. Officially. Commonly seen with Dungeons and Dragons, says Sage, along the LARPing vein. How have you been? You were looking well. Thank you, Chainworks. Yes, always trying my best to stay well. As best I can. I've been great. How are you? Really, Jamie? I highly doubt that. I can't. You just don't remember it, Jamie. There's no way that you haven't seen it before. I promise you. Because if you've ever been in the stream on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, you've seen it. Every single time you've seen it. It only really occurs Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday every week. I have a routine with these things. I'm glad you like it though. But no, I promise, Jamie. Look back at any stream archive you want. It's there. It's there. And it's even worse on Fridays. So we've still got another 2 streams to go. And this is every week. It's not like all of a sudden I've just sprouted this shadow here. I'm glad you like it though. That is great, Chainworks. That is incredible. Are you going to get it excised? I am. So it must be a benign goiter of some kind. I would assume that you will have it excised. So, good luck with that. It's a routine thing, so you'll have no problems. But I'm just glad it's benign. That's a very good thing. Very good thing. Yeah, well, styles go in and out, Linsky. Years ago, having a clean-shaven face in certain cultures, it just depends on the culture, you know what I mean? It's just like years ago, depending on the culture, and even in some cultures today, like long hair on men is the norm, or was the norm, and now it's the total opposite in my culture where I live here and now. But in other cultures, even just a couple hundred years ago, you go and everybody has long hair. So, these things are really interesting. Sociology and things of that nature. But that's good that you have come to the conclusion that it is in style now. That's good. But as you guys know, and as you guys can clearly see, I do not care what's in style now. I never have cared what's in style because I completely always just go my own route when it comes to style. I just do what I do. I am not the type of person to necessarily conform to a particular in season or in style sort of trend. Oh, well, that's good. You're just monitoring it. No excision needed. Good. Good. Chainworks. Jamie says, I had my worst narcolepsy episode today and it was rough. Been getting worse. Been getting worse since the sleep test. Wow. Narcolepsy is a hell of a thing. Absolutely wild. It's amazing to me how that exists as a condition in general. Just amazing in the worst way. I'm so sorry that you have to deal with that. Style is a personal preference, but the point is that most people take the personal preference route of what's the trend. So that's why it's a trend, like flannels. Let's say flannels are in style. And so you'll see as soon as that trend crops up, many girls and many guys start wearing flannels all of a sudden, and that's what trend followers do. And then there are other people that follow their own sense of style and they set trends. That's kind of always how I've been ever since I was able to kind of set and create my own style. It's just always been very unique to me. Both great styles, Jamie. Both great styles. Also great style, Chainworks. Huh. Yeah, I hope it gets confirmed, Jamie. I really do. I mean, it's going to have to get confirmed. I mean, you clearly have narcolepsy, eh? Tie-dye shorts. Let's go. That's quite something. That'll be something. You're going to have to show the Discord once you get that done. Raccoon style. There we go, Sage. Beautiful. That sounds amazing. There we go. You did it, Othello. 20K likes. Thank you to all of you, because I know that Jess played a huge part in this as well. Jessica, thank you so much for all the likes on the live. And Othello, thank you also for carrying us before Jessica was even able to come into the stream, and then right through, you and Jess killing it. And I'm sure that many of you other people, beautiful community members, have also carried us with the likes also. I just haven't been able to see it too much. I see Adrian liking the live. I see it sometimes, but as I'm like going through, because it only shows who's liking the live at the very bottom. Thank you, Linsky, for liking the live. Chainworks, thanks for liking the live. Hey, there you all go now. Let's go. Love it. But it only shows it at the very bottom. So when I'm scrolling through the chat to get to the bottom, I don't see who's liking the live. But anyway, Chainworks, thank you for the heart me, and Marina, thank you for the heart me as well. Much love to you both. I'm glad you could fall asleep happy, Othello. You know, I'm sure that you could just fall asleep happy in general, because, you know, it's been a minute since you've been in the streams. You know, and I know that you were sad that you had to miss last night, but in general, even if we weren't able to hit that goal, right, you were able to be here with us, with me, and so I think that is at the very least a reason to fall asleep happy regardless, you know. But I think you could fall asleep even happier now that you achieved the goal, because you were always killing it with the likes. Always. Wow, yeah, I can't imagine fighting narcolepsy. That's wild. Yeah, like it's just such a foreign concept to me to even imagine it, you know. So even just hearing it from your perspective is really interesting. It's scary too. It's a really scary condition to have. It's very dangerous in many cases. So, Jamie, no, you're totally good. You know, life is not all sunshine and rainbows. It's not. You know, life is in large part suffering. You know, it really is. Happiness is not permanent, and we all, you know, feel sad and have bad days and get stressed. And this is our time to unload some of that, if we want to talk about it, or just talk about good things and forget about those things and have a good time. But nonetheless, you know, this isn't always just a place where it's got to be all sunshine and rainbows. Like, if something's going on, we talk about it, you know. And Jamie, you've been nothing but positive this whole time. You know, you've talked about a little something going on. You said you had a bad day, but in large part, the majority of everything that you've said has been positive, you know. And your you know, general vibe within the community and in the chat, even in this particular situation, is, yeah, has always been, you know, great and positive. So and hand hearts right back to you, Jess. Jamie, thank you for the finger heart ×1. Finger heart right back to you. Thank you so much. And Sage says, I've been more encompassed in the conversation. Yes, and that's very good on you. I'm glad that you've been much more a part of the conversation. It is a good thing. It is true, Othello. It is true. Life is a roller coaster, Sage. Indeed. Yeah, at least you get a warning, right? Your body's kind of giving you a warning, telling you that something's going on. Chainworks, yeah. I'm sorry to hear that, though, Chainworks. Oh, yeah, I mean, as you say, if you have a large amount of illnesses, or even just one that kind of takes over, and it's pervasive in so many different aspects of your life, sometimes it's too much to bear, and you gotta let out all that emotion that occurs. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with it at all. Thanks, Music Addicted. I don't know who that is, but if that's a good thing, then I'm glad and thank you. If it's not, then I'm sorry. Nafish, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the community. Jay says, randomly was scrolling and heard you say that happiness isn't permanent, and dang, so true. Well, thank you for agreeing, or just, finding a little truth nugget in that. It is very true, Jay. It is very true. Thanks for stopping by. Jamie says, I appreciate that. Not the only thing that happened today, but definitely a rough place to start. Yeah. Well, that's the one thing that you wanted to at least tell us about. I appreciate it. Sharing some of the burden. It is Linsky, yes. Eliza says, you remind me of the singer of GWAR, Joe. I don't know what he looks like, but if that's a good thing, thank you. And I am familiar with the band, though, so that's at least good. I understand the band, I just don't know what he looks like. But if that's a good thing, then good. If not, I'm sorry. Hey, Jay, I'm glad that I popped up on your FYP as well. Sometimes you get just what you need at just the right time. This is always a good place to be, whether you're having a good day or a bad day, or a good portion of your life or a bad portion of your life. And yeah, we don't just talk about all of our woes within the stream, of course not. But, it is a place to speak on those things as well, as one of a plethora of things that we have discourse about. Yeah, 15 years worth of that Chainworks, that's gonna do it for you. That's gonna be insane. It's gonna be too much. Everybody has it, worse than you do. If you have one illness that, takes over your life, well, just imagine, Chainworks, who has to deal with 1, 2, 3 different illnesses. And if you're Chainworks with 3 different illnesses, well, there's also people who are starving to death and their parents died in a fire, and they're also dealing with 6 illness. You know what I mean? It only can get worse. Everybody has it to some degree of bad, and there are always people that have it worse than you. And, this is what I'm saying, is that life is not all just sunshine and rainbows, and that life is not often sunshine and rainbows. Life is usually a lot of suffering, even if it's just very mild suffering. Geez, I really wish I could just not feel like I do right now. I feel just kind of meh. I don't feel good, I don't feel bad, but I wish I could feel elated. I wish I could feel elation. Well, that's a form of suffering, because you're not happy in the state that you're in. And think about how much of your day you are actually, and even though it's not consciously in your internal monologue playing through your head, unconsciously you are just maybe that next sip of coffee will help me feel that boost of oh man, yeah, I feel good now, I feel focused. Or you're always constantly seeking and searching and not necessarily happy with where you're at. Meditation quells this in large part. I do recommend it for literally everyone, but you don't need meditation for it, for all that. But still, at the same time, it just any degree of not being satisfied with where you are and how you feel, where you're at, what's going on, is suffering. And so it follows that life is quite a bit of suffering. quite often, quite a lot. I wish too, Linsky, if only every day could be a great day, you know what I mean? But try as we might, it doesn't always occur. It just doesn't. We can do our best to make it so. We certainly can, like try your best to eat healthy and exercise and, meditate and, like do all the things, get enough sleep, all those things. But even if you're doing all of those things, you're still going to have a bad day every once in a while, physically or mentally, whatever it might be. Even if you're the healthiest person, you're still going to get sick every once in a while. For example, you're very welcome, Jay, and it is great to have you here and a part of the community. Thank you, Jamie. That's right, Chainworks. And that's kind of the point of what I was getting at there, is that even though you are someone with a very high level of things to focus on that are terrible, it can help put it in perspective and reframe, just give you a perspective shift and reframe, it's called like a reframing technique of just kind of envisaging and visualizing all the people that would literally kill to be in your body, to be in your shoes, to have your life. It doesn't matter who you are right now in this stream. If you have a phone, if you have a roof over your head, even if you have 3 genetic diseases, whatever it might be, autoimmune disorders, whatever, there is someone out there that would literally kill someone if they could just have a week in your life, in your body, in your shoes, for real. Doesn't matter how terrible you feel like your life is, how bad it is. Someone's got it worse. I promise. I literally promise. There are billions of people on this earth. And even just the fact that you can be here on this stream talking to me, that says a lot in itself. You have a lot of your basic needs met, and a lot of people don't, And so that's a really good way to frame it, Chainworks, is just be thankful for the good. Because there's nothing that you can do about the bad. There's literally nothing you can do other than do all the things that you can. Like I said, eat well, exercise, get enough sleep, all of the pillars of health, mental and physical health. And everything from there, you just kind of have to take by storm and do your best to mitigate, and you can, take medication if you've got an illness, do those specific things to mitigate, but focus on the good that you have. Do everything that you have to keep it as well. I'm really sorry to hear that, Jay. And, it is insane. It's an insane level of stuff that you're dealing with as well. It's an insane level of stuff that you have to deal with. The good news is that only trying to focus on the positive here. There's plenty of bad that comes along with this, right? But there are good things that come along with it as well. Such as, when you come out the other end of this thing, because you will be a stronger, more resilient person. You will be. It's hard to see that now. It is, but you will be. Because life is all about overcoming the obstacles, the trials, the tribulations that should have destroyed you, that should have broken you, but they didn't. And you overcame them. And on the other end of that, you become stronger, more resilient, and an even better person for it. Do I wish that any of those things would happen to any of you? No. But there are positive aspects to this. Because obviously we cannot change the bad that has occurred. There's nothing we can do about it. But for any of you dealing with anything, if you can make it through, if you can just make it through however you can, hopefully in healthy ways, you will be a better and stronger person. And this is how you write your story, folks. This is how you write it. It literally is. What is a book, right? What is a fictional story? Any book that you like to read, any TV show that you love, what makes a character in that book or in that TV show or in that movie admirable to you? What makes them interesting to you? It's not because their life was entirely just sunshine and rainbows. They skated through. I mean, that would be like a 5-page book, one episode, TV show. It would be a 10-minute movie, whatever it might be. The reason why you admire these characters and why these stories are compelling to us, to you, everyone, is because they had challenges, trials, and tribulations, obstacles that they seemingly could not get over. They appeared to be completely insuperable to them, to you, to us. But they weren't. They got through them, and they became a better, stronger person on the other side of those obstacles. And that is what makes a story and a character arc beautiful and great. That is life. And that is what all of us do on a daily basis, in large ways and in small ways. It is. And we do it. And that's what life is about. If life was all just sunshine and rainbows, it wouldn't be life. It just wouldn't. No one would care. But I guarantee that each one of you could write an autobiography about every little thing that tried to get you down in your life, and you got through it and you got over it and you just destroyed it. And every single time you got back up on your feet, right? Like, that is an incredible story to read. That would be such a beautiful story for anyone to read, and we all have them. We all have them. So, Lena, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the community. Chainworks, you are blessed indeed. That is great. That is a beautiful thing. And yes, the Chainworks. Yes. You do get to do some beautiful things, eh? There's a difference between comparing your journey and reframing. Because, it's easy to say, like, well, this person has it worse than me. I have it better than this person, and looking at it in a negative way. But I don't look at things like that, because there's a way to reframe and perspective shift in a positive way. So yes, I would say that is slightly incorrect, just in the way that you can compare your journey. You can, and not so much your journey, but you can compare your level of terribleness in your life to others, if it will help shift your perspective to understand that I should be grateful for what I have, and I should understand that there are plenty of people that would do anything to be in my position, no matter how bad I have it. That can be a positive thing. However, if you need to hear the message that is also equally true, that Even if people have it worse than you, your suffering is your own, and it's going to feel terrible to you, just like the other person's suffering is going to feel terrible to them, because that's also true. But the two are true at the same time, because they are. I'm glad to hear it, Allie. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad that I could provide you with it. Things do feel hard, but you are blessed indeed. It's my camera. Life is difficult, Jay. But you are grateful. Gratitude certainly does go a long way. This is true. Because, it can be really beneficial to just take yourself out of it for a second and realize and understand that you don't, you can be grateful for what you have, because there is nothing that you can do about so much of your situation, especially if you have an illness that you can't control anymore. Even if you could have done something, even if you could have lived a little bit of a healthier life, let's say, or not, like I said, some of those pillars of health, maybe you should have eaten a little better. Maybe you should have gotten a little more sleep. Maybe you should have, but maybe you should have exercised, but you didn't. So now you're dealing with this theoretical, hypothetical illness. Well, there's nothing you can do about that now. So be grateful for what you have. Thank you for the heart, me, Jackie. Appreciate that. If you like to collect rocks, exactly, Sage. Yeah. I'm glad to hear it, Sage, and I'm glad that you needed to hear it. And that you teared up, that's very powerful and beautiful to hear. Although, hopefully not tearing up in a sad, bad way. At the same time, there's a sort of sentimental sadness that can accompany that sort of situation. So I think that, even, you know what? If it was a little slightly sad way, I can get down with that. But hopefully mostly positive anyway. Precisely, Jamie. Precisely. You all have fought and overcome so many incredible obstacles that, whether it's to you or to anyone else, they would be incredible. How did this person get through that? Well, you did. You did. And you do it every day. For some of you, just waking up in the morning can be one of the hardest things you've had to do all week. That can be your reality for some people. And if that's the case, really think about that. Really understand that that's something to be proud of. Because there's a reason why you're in that position. There's a reason why it feels impossible for you to wake up, But the more you keep doing it and start solving those problems that put you in that frame of reference, frame of mind in the first place, it will get easier. And you will look back on that time and think, wow, I really came from that. I came from that. And now look at me. Don't let it get you down, Because you can overcome it instead of fall under it. But yeah. I think I was kind of just responding to both Jay and Jamie there. I think I responded to both of you. Hopefully I did. I know I did to Jay, but to Jamie, again, I'm really glad you needed that as well, and that you're grateful as well. Hey, Jackie, what's going on? Welcome back. Truth Nugget Sage. Yeah. You know it. Look at that. Jamie's excited to see Jackie. There we go. Randy Grow Flowers. Indeed. Jessica loves it here so much. Hey, me too. I'm glad you love it, though. I am. I really am. I say that to all of you. I do. Yeah, Linsky, like I said, for some people, it is not the best place to be because they're thinking in terms of like, I don't care if anybody has it worse than me. It's just terrible for me. Like both things can absolutely be true at once, like I was saying. Some people in that particular moment, in that particular situation, in that particular frame of mind that they're in, need that perspective shift and the reframing technique that I outlined previously. However, there are people that in their current situation do not benefit from that particular psychological reframing. And if they don't, then the opposite is true for them in that situation. But yeah, both things are effective. They are opposites of each other. However, they are both very effective techniques and very true. Very true. Thank you for the TikTok times 10, Jackie. Thank you for the Go Popular times 5. And welcome back to Superfan status, Jackie. Much love to you. You are amazing. You are amazing. It's great to see you back, Jackie. It really is. It really is. Hey, Michelle, what's going on? Welcome back. Yeah, absolutely, Jamie. Like even if there's so many little things that can get you down throughout your day, any little thing. And I wish that more people could understand how easily it affects people. Like, just think about, if you drive a car and you're trying to go the speed limit, but there's somebody behind you that's kind of angry. They want to go a little bit faster and they're angry. So they get all worked up about this. As they pass by you, they flip you off or they yell at you out their window. I know that if you're in that receiving end, you feel terrible. This affects you for like the rest of your day. And for the first 10 minutes, it really affects you. You're thinking of like, oh my God, and you're stressed out. You're like, you might be angry at them. Oh my God, if I could have just gotten out of my car or whatever. And then for the rest of your day, it has these smaller trickle-down effects and how you treat people. And then those people that you've treated the way that that's caused you to treat them, they go and treat people the way that you've caused them. It's a crazy concatenation of, emotional effects that absolutely trickle down to everybody. And if people had a bit better idea of this, then maybe we could mitigate some of that. But also at the same time, you also don't know what caused that person to do what they did to you, right? Like maybe that person is dealing with, maybe they just got the news that they had cancer. Maybe one of their loved ones just died and they are just unstable right now. So they pass by you, they are so angry, and then they cause that effect on you. You have the option. You have the option to sit there, and maybe it's not even true, but you have the option to sit there for maybe a minute or two and think to yourself, I wonder what this person went through today. I wonder what this person's going through in their life. And this is exactly what you were just saying. That you don't know what someone's gone through in their life. It's so true. It's facts. And if you can, take yourself out of the situation real quick and just say, it probably wasn't really me. It's not like I was really doing anything wrong. I know I wasn't. I was just going the speed limit and they were a little frustrated and they overreacted. Okay. I have the option to go through the rest of my day in a terrible mental state for myself and also outwardly affecting others with that mental state. I have the choice right now to understand that this person, I can't know for sure, but I'm going to choose to think so because it's most likely true. I mean, why else would they be like this, right? Whether it be something acute in their life or something that's been, long and protracted out for months and years, that they've been dealing with cancer, or they had a really particularly bad round of chemo that day or something like that. You know what I mean? Well, I'm just going to choose to leave this at the door. I'm going to shake this off right now. And I'm not going to let this get the rest of my day down. And I'm not going to let anybody else get any sort of residual effects from the stress that I was just feeling about that. Because this person over here probably is just having a terrible day. And I don't know what they've been through. So that is the best, 100% the best way to view things, because it doesn't just affect you. It doesn't just improve life for you, but it improves life for all around you as well. It's a beautiful thing. And that is another sort of reframing, a meditation adjacent technique that you can throw yourself into. Just, again, perspective shift. Think about it. Really think about these things. Yeah, obviously I'm real. But sometimes I look too perfect because I just have a good setup. Yeah, I do live streaming. That's what I do. So I choose not to have shitty gear when it comes to my streaming setup. So yeah, I have a good camera. Sorry. But so many people, I know your brand, you're kind of new, Chainworks, obviously. It's been a while since you've been here, but I get the AI sort of joke comment just about every stream, so it's all right. Happens all the time, baby. That's great, Chainworks, that your husband never gave up. That's a beautiful thing. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate you. I'm glad you're doing better, Jackie, and I'm glad that you're back. Two things that I am incredibly glad to hear. Equally glad to hear both of those things. I've been every single day I'm editing a new video, but lately I've been going through some of the older gaming videos, like gaming streams that we've done, and like I hear myself talking to you and Nalina and so many of the community that is in there. So it's nice to actually have you back, and I'm talking to you again. Look at that. Absolutely. It is. It's hard to have a positive mindset, Jay, but think about this. It's also easy. I completely lost my train of thought. It is, it's also hard to have a negative mindset, is basically what I'm getting at. It's very hard to have a negative mindset. Now, it's easy in the sense that your brain and your body wants you to have a negative mindset when something negative happens. But again, negative, and it's hard to have a negative mindset in the way that it does nothing but just bring you down, tear you down. And cortisol, your stress hormone, that is being just pumping through your veins when you are in a very stressed or negative mindset, has very, very notable effects on your physiology as well. It is not just mental effects that, occur when you are in a negative mindset. So it's very hard on your body to be constantly in a negative mindset. And, even some physiological ailments can be, at the very least, improved just by getting yourself into a positive mindset by way of because you're not having all this cortisol flowing throughout your veins. So both things are true, Jay. It is hard to have a positive mindset in that way, but it's also hard on your body and on your mind to have a negative mindset as well. If you can get yourself into a positive mindset, then it's going to do nothing but wonders for you. Jay, thank you. I'm glad that you think I'm wise and that you appreciate what I say. And yeah, I've been through things. I've been through things like all of you. But, it's not, I'm just a very learned individual. I spend most of my time learning things and thinking about things, so anybody in the community will tell you. I know you're rather new to it, but this is what I do. Now, obviously, I don't speak extensively on things that I don't know about and can't, I'm not going to speak on things that I can't speak on, but, but many of you have also gone through things and have gone through far more than I have. But I just try my best to use my education and intellect to put things as concisely and wisely as possible for you. Because I do a lot of thinking and researching and learning when it comes to, basically what we're talking about is psychology here. We're talking about psychology and to some degree physiology and health, wellness, nutrition, anatomy, physiology, psychology, things of this nature are some of my most strongest levels of knowledge. So we're kind of in my wheelhouse here. Thanks, the bassist. I appreciate that. Maria is taking notes to remind herself, and she agrees. I love it. Jay, I try to go live every single day. And I let you guys know. I let you guys know via the Discord every day when I'm going live. Yes, I do, Jay. Somebody can send you the link. Whoever is able to send Jay the Discord link, go right ahead. I will accept you into the Discord after the stream ends, because it is invite only to purely kind of the members of the community and such. Thank you, Jamie, for sending it. Jay grew up and still is in a very toxic household, so being around negativity is actually more normal for me. Getting into the positive mindset has helped me so much, that and witchcraft. There you go. It does. It will do nothing but help. It can only do nothing but help, because staying in the negative mindset does actually nothing for you, and it won't pull you up by your bootstraps, and it won't improve your life. Being in a positive mindset is going to allow you to do all of those things. Even if you aren't able in your current situation to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, whether that be an illness, because of an illness that you can't change, or you can't just move out of your family's house because of financial situations or whatever it might be, at least a positive mindset is going to put you in a better mental space, and therefore physical space, to thrive and do as best you can. What's up, Grandmaster? Oh, Linsky, I don't think you're... Well, everybody's always judging you, no matter who you are, no matter where you are, no matter what time it is. Everybody's making judgments, but I know what you mean. No, I've studied anatomy, physiology, psychology, and philosophy, neuroscience, in university. Those are the primary ones. I did a little bit of physical therapy, but I realized that more the straight up hard sciences and like physical therapy is more along the anatomical lines of things, whereas I'm a bit more... I just have more of a proclivity for like actual physiology and chemistry, what's going on the inside and why. And so I dropped physical therapy pretty quickly. And then that's when I went on to study exercise physiology, and then exercise physiology and psychology. And then later down the road, I studied neuroscience and philosophy. So, good question. Rosalita, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the community. Hey, Charlotte. Yeah, social anxiety is really, really tough. No, it's super tough. It's really, really hard. But, you know, if you're the type of person that's more of an introvert and you like to have a really small circle of friends, that doesn't have to mean that you are... that this is something that you shouldn't be. You know what I mean? Like if it's truly affecting your life, like you have agoraphobia or something like that, then that's, you know, that could be a problem. That's going to negatively affect your life. Of course it will. But if you're just somebody who has a mild bit of social anxiety, therefore you are introverted, you like to have a small circle of friends, you don't like going out to clubs and parties and stuff like that, you'd prefer the grocery store when it's a little more calm and quiet. You go on the days when there's less people there. Like that just means you're a different type of person. There's nothing wrong with that per se. Now, I can't at all actually purport to know or understand what you actually mean by the fact that you have social anxiety, so you almost never go out. There's a lot of assumptions that I have to draw off of that on both ends of the extremes. You know what I mean? So I'm basically answering for both answers. Because if it is, you know, to the level of agoraphobia and this is negatively affecting your life, then yes, that's not good. That's not good. But if you're just somebody on the other end of things and it's the opposite of the other situation that I've outlined, then in that case, well, it's not really a bad thing. You're just a different type of person. There's extroverts and there's introverts. There's people that are a bit more on the introverted side. There's people that are, you know, lean toward introversion, but they are fairly extroverted. You know, like it is definitely a spectrum, a continuum. So. And thank you again, Rosalita. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I have things to say about it, Amira. I'm sure I've kind of graced on and touched on the topic of neurodivergence within this entire discourse. However, I don't know, with a question as open to interpretation as that, I don't know exactly what to say on it. Especially because neurodivergence in general is a fairly vague term. It can mean many different things. It's an umbrella term for a multitude of conditions. So I have touched on some of those in this discourse. However, I do not know off the top of my head exactly what to just sort of extemporaneously jump into as far as monologues go. Yeah, you just don't like going out. I get it, Charlotte. Some people just really don't like being around people. It can control you. It's not the easiest thing. Anxiety is, a chokehold on your life. So it's not so much that you're just introverted. It's that you literally are dealing with anxiety that is negatively affecting you. And that is definitely not good. It's not good. At least it's not to the level of like agoraphobia. You can't step outside your house, but just being around people is not your thing. Obviously there's ways to treat that. I would, obviously we all know what those are, right? Therapy and the different techniques that your therapist can take you through, which are very efficacious and will help alleviate your issues with it. But I am sorry to hear it. Slug Slime, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the community. And Alyssa, thank you for the heart me. Appreciate you. Maria has to go, tired and needs sleep. Got to wake up at 8 a.m. tomorrow, and it is too late. Yeah, Maria, it's even later here, so I get you. I also have to be up fairly early as well. Again, you guys ask how I have time to do all that I do. Well, it's because I also have to wake up early to get a jump on the day and get it all done. So I feel you, and get some sleep, Maria. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow in the next stream. Jay, did you get the Discord link just fine? You get the Discord link? Did you send an invite? Okay, good. Or sorry, did Jamie send you an invite? Jay, it's 2:11 in the morning. Yeah, that's terrible, Charlotte. It's obviously easy to think that that is just going to happen to you. It's easy to think that because something bad happened to you, that it's very easy for it to happen again, which is statistically untrue. But psychologically, you tend to be, you tend to easily fall into the mental state of, if I go back out, this is probably going to happen to me again. But at the same time, like realistically, statistically, it's like going in an airplane, right? Like you could have a relative that died in a plane crash, but statistically you're more likely to get struck by lightning than also dying in a plane crash. You know what I mean? So, but again, this is the human psychology. It's very hard to overcome your psychology. Because if anything bad happens to you personally or very close to home, to somebody that you're personally very close to, it's going to be difficult to overcome that psychological hurdle 100%. And again, I'm so sorry that that's happened to you. That's absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. Nobody deserves that. And especially that they're out of prison already. That's just great, huh? Yeah, Linsky. I do, so on the weekends, I rest up. I get a lot of extra sleep. I still give myself plenty of time during the day to get done all the extra stuff that I need to get done. And I do 2 separate streams. I do our Twitch stream where we do different things, and then I do the TikTok streams on the weekend. So, there still is a level of, extra things that I'm doing, but I give myself more time to sleep on the weekends. So I'm not always like running around sleep deprived. Then of course, if I was truly sleep deprived right now, you'd be able to tell, I would not nearly be as sharp, so it's not like it's like I'm horrifically, sleep deprived or anything like that. Mark, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Charlotte, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the community. Officially. Much love to you too, Maria. And good night to you too. And I am very glad to hear that I will be on in the background, soothing you to sleep with my voice. Yeah, home is safe, and there are some people, Linsky, that obviously that don't even feel safe at home. They wish that they could feel safe at home. And, so like it's good for those of us that are able to even associate home with safety, because not everybody does get to feel that. And you're welcome, Charlotte. You're welcome. Yeah, Charlotte, of course, you've got a really good support system here in the community. You were also, of course, since you've officially joined the community just now, following me here, you are absolutely welcome into our Discord as well. Everybody that you've been talking to here in this chat is also in the Discord. So, we're not just here in our couple, 2 to 3 hours a day in the streams where we talk. We also talk in the Discord as well. So that's always an option for you as well if you have Discord or want to get one. Because, yeah, I've got to wrap up pretty shortly too, because it is getting kind of late, unfortunately. But of course, we'll be back tomorrow. But again, I also have to prioritize sleep because I want to be able to give you guys the best of me each and every night. That's important to me. Very important to me. Yeah, Jay, and losing that sense of safety is just insanely awful. Terrible. I trust and I know that you will find another level of safety like that. And even, hopefully, you can even find a level of solace and safety, and come to and learn to find a level of solace and safety in his memory as well. But hopefully you can also find new people that can, or just other people that can also make you feel that way, or other things that can make you feel that. I know that even just in a small way, again, this is not to conflate the two things, right? I'm not at all trying to conflate like personal safety from your family member and what I'm about to talk about, but just the fact that this stream, right? You're new to it, but many of the people here in the stream have been here with me together, all here, for quite some time. Sorry, I just hit the mic. For quite some time. And this has become a nightly routine for many of you. And when the stream doesn't happen for whatever reason, it can almost feel like a sense of safety, a sense of your nightly routine, a sense of many different things has been stripped away. So, even just having the stream and the community to be a part of and come back to can fill a void of safety, or just become another level of safety and familiarity and routine that you either might be missing or could benefit from having an addition of. So thank you. Much love to you too, Amira. I appreciate it, and I certainly will. And thank you, Charlie. I appreciate that. Yeah, exactly, Linsky. It's tough. It's tough. And then we can go even further, right? And then there's people that, even if you don't feel safe at home, well, there's people that would still wish that they were in your position because their life is even more terrible. We could keep going with that, but nonetheless, nobody deserves to not feel safe in their own home. It's ridiculous. Nobody deserves to not feel safe walking out the door, like Charlotte said, things like this. It's it's a messed up world out there, It really is. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, but we do our best. We do our best. And each and every day, there's a potential for a massive problem to be thrown at you, or not. But when they do get thrown at you, it's about how you handle the problems and how you overcome them. That is really going to define who you are as a person and write the story of your life. So, and that is also terrible to hear, Joy. Absolutely terrible to hear. You also don't deserve that. And definitely should find a way to leave. Usually, again, I can't purport to understand all of the intricacies of your life and your situation, and there's no way that you could expound on those here. But thing is there is usually resources that beat going through. I can't really say out loud. I'll probably get the stream 18 plus or something because TikTok's really strict with these things. But there are resources out there that, even though they might not be the easiest thing, like going to a shelter of some kind or whatever, there usually is resources and ways to keep you safe. And even though they're not the easiest and they're not the most fun, they beat having your situation be your inescapable life and feeling how you must feel on a daily basis. It can't feel good to be living your life all the time. Yeah, and that's a very, very common psychological situation. Not even just with your situation, which is the extreme, right? It's the extreme bad. But there's also just toxic relationships where you're always arguing and you know that you're constantly upset and you really don't you've definitely you're miserable with each other. But when one of you tries to leave, you end up missing what you used to be in the beginning and the love that you had, and you hate the feeling of being alone again and having to restart and all of these things. That's tough. That's one of the hardest things you have to do, especially with somebody that you're married to, you've been together for a long time, especially if you have kids with them, you bought a house with them, whatever it might be. It's so easy to fall back into wanting what you used to have, even though this person's proved time and again that they can't change and they won't change and they're going to slip back into their bad habits and terrible ways. So again, like I say, it really is about the things that you can do and will end up doing that are going to overcome this situation. Because ultimately what it's going to be is checking in to a shelter and truly putting your foot down and really understanding and coming to grips with the fact that this cannot be rectified. There is no rectification that can be had in this relationship, in this situation. It is far too far gone. It's far too far gone. And I think that will probably be the crux of the issue for you. And once you do, because you will, you have to, because it's very dangerous to be in the situation that you're in. Once you do, I fully have confidence that you will look back on yourself in years to come and say, I'm amazed that was who I was, and I've come so far, and I'm so proud of myself, and I'm so much better for it. And you will be, because it takes time. It takes a long time, but you do eventually with time. It's like losing someone. It's like losing a parent, for instance. It's not to that level, of course. I'm not conflating the two, but for an example, because again, I've gone through it, and again, not to your level either, Joy, because I've never been married or anything, but it's like losing someone, like they've died. That's someone that's very close to you, truly. And in that sort of situation, it also takes time to get over it. It does. But you do eventually get over it, and you start to realize that you are actually happier on your own. You are actually a lot better of a person, and you're a lot safer, and just everything in your life has improved now as a result of this. But yeah. Padme, yeah, if it's not for you, then it's not for you. But thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I'm glad that you think so. And Charlotte, sounds good. You're very welcome. I'll see you in the next one. Again, welcome to the community. It was great to have you. Yeah, guys, I've got to get going too. It's very late, very late. So, for those of you that have requested to join the Discord during this stream, I will personally accept you into the Discord once I finish. Thanks for a great stream. So much love to all of you. I will see you in the next one. Talk to you and see you tomorrow. Amira, heart rate back to you. Linsky, good night. You're very welcome. Thank you. Padme, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the community. Good night to you too, Jamie. Jay, you are very, very welcome. I appreciate you too. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a part of the community. Talk to you guys in the Discord. For those of you that are there or will be there, good night to you too, Padme. All right. Much love, y'all. Talk to you tomorrow. And in the Discord. If not in the Discord, then on the stream tomorrow.